Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video today. So I wanted to talk about Enzo Maresca for quite some time. I was not able to get much time to today. Here it is. We're going to make this video. And so it's very interesting to think about this guy who has no Premier League experience. However, he has been the assistant manager to Pep Guardiola. And because the style of football he would know, being assistant to Pep, could be one of the reasons, and might be the main reason why he is thought to be the front runner or could be appointed as the Chelsea manager. It's a big leap, and I think it's a big risk. At the beginning, I'm going to say that. He took Leicester in the Championship. I actually looked at the Leicester the Championship. I do that. I watch the Leicester the Championship points tally almost every week when the matches go around to see who is doing well, because we know the top two is going to get automatically to the Premier League, and the third one, 3, 4, 5, 6 will play the playoffs. And so this time it was Leicester and Sheffield and Ipswich, and then Southampton came through the playoffs, beating Leeds United. So I keep a track of that, the Championship. So this season Leicester was doing pretty well throughout the season. Hardly they went down to second. Maybe there was this couple of weeks when they started losing a couple of matches, when for a brief moment they went to number 2, but throughout the season they were number 1, and they came right back up as number 1. So knowing that, so at the Championship level, Leicester did really well. Maresca really did well. This is the Premier League. This is a completely different thing, different place, and it's not going to be easy for any manager to come out here and do well. As we saw with Pochettino, it was not easy for him, though he had so much of experience with Spurs in the Premier League. He has taken Spurs to the Champions League final. He came so close of winning the Premier League as well, but it did not happen, and he had so much of a tough time being a Chelsea manager. If you look at the same thing happened with Graham Potter. He got decent experience, but he could not make it. Frank Lampard also had a tough time. Well, the first season was good, but the second season was not so easy for him. So now you bring someone like Maresca, and it will be interesting how it goes. I for one believe it's a big risk taken by the Chelsea owners, because this guy doesn't have much of experience. The problem at Chelsea is one really big problem is over the last 5-6 years this has happened. After the Conte Premier League winning season, things have become very negative at Chelsea. Whether you're a match-going fan or you are someone who's watching from the television, you see if Chelsea is losing a couple of matches here and there, and we do. If you look at the last 5-6 matches, we have lost to the likes of Bournemouth and things like that. 5-0, 4-0. There have been drubbings. And whoever has been the manager has received a lot of stick, like Sarri, even Graham Potter, even Frank Lampard. Last season it was Pochettino. Even Tuchel, at times he used to get a bit of stick when we used to lose matches. So under Tuchel we played much decently. The problem here is that there will be cases like this in the coming season as well, because Maresca is new. He will also take time. Maybe he has learned the game from Pep. Maybe he has some really good ideas. The thing is, he will take time to settle down with this bunch of players. He might be buying a couple more players. So they will take time to settle down. So there will be matches where we will lose, which we should win. Like we had draws this past season as the likes of Sheffield United and Burnley. And there was a lot of stick that how can you drop points to those teams. Had we not dropped those points, we might have finished in the top 4. Who knows? We could have finished in the top 4, and Pochettino could have been in his job, and we might not have had a new manager. So when these things happen, when you lose to these teams who are at the bottom half of the table, whom you're expected to beat because you have a much superior side, then things can go really bad. The dressing room, things will always be bad. There will be players who will get chance, there will be others who will not. And there will be always this tiff. The manager will have to take care of that. Now, if you look at Maresca, he doesn't look like a manager. He looks like an assistant manager. But obviously, I'm pretty sure my mindset will change if he gets good results. So if it doesn't, he will get a lot of backlash from the fans if he loses those type of matches, and a lot of English journalists are going to get behind him. There are certain journalists who are always puts negative news about Chelsea. Whenever we lose matches, there will be something about a player said something like this, or the owner might have said something like this, or something might have happened. So suddenly the whole atmosphere becomes very negative. And will he be able to deal with it? If he's not able to deal with it, then you know what's going to happen. And this is where I think the ownership will make a fool out of themselves if things go north, if things go south rather, not north, if things go south, that if he starts, messing it up, obviously there will be matches in a big season of 38 matches in the Premier League only. There will be matches where he will mess things up, where we will lose matches. And at that time, if it happens 2-3 matches on the trot, like it happens sometime in November or October, when we have a bunch of matches and we start dropping points here and there, the fans are going to get, there will be a lot of negativity talk. And there you go. What will he do then? And if he cannot survive those moments, will he also get sacked? So that's a big issue. We had a good thing with Pochettino at the end of the season. I understand that throughout the season he was not able to make things happen. And I guess that's the reason why he got sacked. But in the last 6 matches he did well. He should have been given that one more season to see that if he can do better, because he has already created that joining point with the fans. Most of the Chelsea fans were trying to get along with that Pochettino vibe. The players were feeling him as well. So, it was a very risky issue, and if Maresca cannot do it, then it will be very tough. We might again have a new manager, and it will be a big risk. But I'll tell you one thing, one good thing that I've come across. Chelsea there was a time when Chelsea used to be called an Italian club, almost a long time back, when Ken Bates was the kind of the owner, and he got a lot of players for Chelsea who came from Italian Serie A, a lot of them. And we had quite a few Chelsea managers who are Italians. I'll name a few. Gianluca Vialli, under whom we first made it to the Champions League, the modern version of the Champions League, so 25 years ago. Then Claudio Ranieri, who, like Maresca, was pretty unknown. And when he was appointed as Chelsea manager, he took us to the Champions League. We should have almost won that Champions League. We beat the invincible Arsenal team in the Champions League quarterfinals. That Wayne Bridge goal at Highbury. Then there was this time with Carlo Ancelotti, we won the Champions League. Then with I might be missing a couple of Roberto Di Matteo winning our first Champions League. That was a huge moment. Antonio Conte winning the Premier League and the FA Cup. Maurizio Sarri, another Italian, won the Europa Cup with him. So we have a bunch of Italian managers. Even Gianfranco Zola, who is Italian legendary football player for us, he was an assistant manager for a brief period of time with us as well, and we know how great a player he was. So we have a bunch of really good Italian managers, and they have done really well. So we have to see on the brighter side. Hopefully, maybe we'll have a good thing with this Italian manager, and maybe Maresca will deliver. It's all a lot like Ange, the Spurs manager. He came from Celtic. He had not much experience in the Premier League. He came here, and Spurs was very close to finishing in the top 4. Ultimately, they couldn't, but they were very close. So it will be very much like that, taking a risk. Maybe he has the attributes, and who knows, by the end of next season, we might be in the top 4, which is minimum criteria for Chelsea at this moment. So let's see how it goes. You guys let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Do you think he will be able to deliver? Do you think something will go wrong? Let me know in the comment section. I see you guys in a different video. Bye-bye.